Hey guys, welcome to Mike It Yourself. If you've watched my video on the replacement of my rear fender struts, you heard me talk about these turn signals that I bought. And so that one's got its cover off. That's what it looks like with the cover. But after hooking them up, they're really dim. This has been a real, problem for me because, again, I'm big on safety. I want to be visible. And if adding these LEDs doesn't give me the visibility I'm looking for, then they're useless. So what I'm going to do, because my whole intent with this bike is to replace this rear fender at some point. It's going to be probably a deluxe fender, something that hangs a little bit lower. But for now, what I'm going to do is try to replace these LEDs with one of these side markers. So I believe that the diameter of this should fit in this rubber casing and still use the same housing. And I just ditched these cheapy LEDs. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this turn signal housing off, and we'll see about lining things up. Okay guys, so I've gotten this thing out, and what my plan is to pull out the LED wiring out of this housing and replace it with these. These are actually trailer side markers used, and they're very bright. They've actually got 3 of the square style LEDs inside of them. And to give you an idea of the brightness difference, I've got a battery here. I'm going to go ahead and hook up this LED, and that's its max brightness. And depending on where you're looking, as you can see, if I angle it away from the camera, it's not very bright at all. And to be quite honest, if you look at it straight forward, you can almost look at it dead on. It doesn't really blind you like a flashlight would. Now this LED here is also somewhat directional, meaning, if you're not looking dead at it, it's not so bright. But it is much, much brighter even from the side. And when you looked it on, it's much brighter as well. It's got somewhat of a dim tint to it, but overall a lot brighter than the LEDs in this. So I'm going to try to push this thing out. And it looks like it's going to come right through without issue. I may have to cut off my terminations here, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut those off. Some diagonal cutters. Cut those off. Okay. So I've got that out. This is pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the rubber seal, and this is actually going to, be used also for a rubber seal with these around these other ones. But this is what was inside, right? So a very simple LED setup. I originally thought about replacing these. I don't know if these are 5mm or what size LEDs these are, but I was just going to swap them out just by soldering new ones and going with red. But I don't know. There's probably 10 of them in here. Take a long time, and the reality is, will I get it any brighter by replacing these LEDs with the exact same LEDs? It didn't make sense to me, so I was like, let me give a different option a try. So here's the housing. It's very simple, right? Just going to run my wires through. So first, I'm going to go ahead and put my wire through this rubber housing and see how I'm going to get for fitment. And you can see it actually fits pretty well. This is going to work pretty well for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide these wires through. So I'm just sliding them through that shaft in there. And then just pulling them out. So that worked out very, very easily. And I'm able to put that seal in. Looks like I am going to have to mess a little bit with this just because the wiring, there we go. I had to leave a little bit of slack in there so that way I can let it bend that 90-degree turn or else it's kind of fighting itself here. So I'm going to have to toy around with that, but like I said, overall it fits. Like I said, it'll be just be a matter of getting that, there we go, LED turn going on. So now I'm going to throw this cover on just to kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like on the bike. And so let's see. So that is a lot brighter. That'll be the brightness of my brake light, which is going to be much better than what I was looking at before. Something I can also consider is removing the that little lens. These lights, because they're meant to be side marker / trailer lights, they're already waterproof, they're sealed, so I don't have to worry about using that to seal them, and I can let them just kind of be out there on their own, and that's pretty bright too. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the other one off, get these inserted. I may end up gluing them to that rubber seal. I'm not sure how I want to work with that, and then I'm going to get them installed back on the bike, and I'll show you what that looks like once they're back on. Okay guys, so we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of the modification I did to this one by swapping the LEDs out, so the original out, putting the trailer side marker in, compared to the original setup that I purchased these things with. And from a running light perspective, you can see the right side is by far brighter than the left side. So that in itself is a win. Let's take a look at what it looks like if I put it on as a flasher. And the turn signal state looks good. Let's compare it to the left. Honestly, it's not even a comparison, right? Just watching somebody weak just get beat right now. From a brake standpoint, again, you can't beat it. I mean, that's a side-by-side as best as anything. That right side is by far much brighter. So this is going to be a win as far as mods go. I'm going to go ahead and pull that other side out, do the same swap as you saw. Very, very easy. The only thing I had to do was crimp new bullet ends on the new wires and then bolt it back in, and that's it. So I'm going to put it on and I'll bring you back once that other one is completed. Okay guys, so here's the finished product. Both LEDs have been replaced into these bullet housings, and as you can see, I've got a far better outcome. Right turn, left turn, brake. This was the output I was originally looking for, and now I've got it just by swapping out those LEDs with some relatively cheap price LEDs that are made for trailers. So if you've got these same problems or you're looking for a solution like this, sometimes you just got to think outside the box to get what you want. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you want to make sure you don't miss out on my next video, hit that notification bell. I produce every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.